So, lads, today the referees gave the report on the situation, and it's even worse. It's even worse than I imagined, and it was pretty grim. Like, it was a pretty grim overall. It was a pretty grim overall situation. So, obviously, let's as a refresher, let's take a look at what happened. And by the way, I actually think the referees were right in the Sophie Cunningham call, but I still think it was the less excessive of the two of them. It was the less excessive of the two of them. But and I mean, what will be ignored as well, I just saw this. The old Angel Reese just got away with a good old shove to the face of Kiki Iriafen. But I don't think there's much in that, to be honest. But so basically, this is one of the situations that happened at the very end of the game, and this was in retaliation. Sophie Cunningham took down JC Sheldon, and they got into it. First of all, why Lindsay Allen? Lindsay Allen should not have been ejected for this, by the way. She's just kind of in there with Sophie Cunningham. She kind of walked into her. There's no way Lindsay Allen should be ejected for that. Like, that was a crazy call. But also, that was obviously one thing that happened. But what ended up happening was Caitlin gets poked in the eye, or gets clawed in the eye, and then JC Sheldon belly bumps her. She gets clawed in the eye, Sheldon belly bumps her, and Caitlin pushes her off. And then Marina Mabrey just shoves her into the referee onto the ground. And this is what the referee said happened. Why was JC Sheldon's foul upgraded to flagrant 1? In the judgment of the officials, the foul by Sheldon was unnecessary. The contact to Clark's face. Furthermore, there was a wind-up and impact, and the contact to face carries potential for injury. How did you come to the conclusion that that is a flagrant 1? How did you come up to the conclusion that it was unnecessary? There was a wind-up, and it was to the face. The three of them that is a flagrant 2. By definition, you have described a flagrant 2. Unnecessary contact. Wind-up and unnecessary. The two of those can be a flagrant 2. And face. You have described why was it a flagrant 2. You have just described a flagrant 2 as your answer for why it was upgraded to a flagrant 1. You have just described the flagrant 2. What went into deciding Marina Mabrey should get a technical foul instead of something more severe? The contact made by Mabrey did not rise to the level of an ejection. Additionally, it did not meet the criteria for flagrant penalty 2. Like, what exactly, did not rise to the level of an ejection? I'm sorry, what? Did she have to have, for it to be a level of an ejection, did she have to injure Caitlin? Or did she have to injure the referee? She almost went through the ref's knee, by the way. I don't think people realize it. She nearly went through the ref's knee. But, why did Caitlin Clark get a technical foul? After the foul, she reacted in an unsportsmanlike manner. So, she got clawed in the eye, then got belly bumped, and then kind of tried to get away from somebody after belly bumping her, and then walked around holding her eye, and then got blindsided onto the ground. While holding one of her eyes, she gets hit on this side onto the ground, into the referee. That is responding in an unsportsmanlike manner. What is she meant to do? When she gets clawed in the eye, shoved to the ground, and belly bumped? Should she have hit the deck after the JC Sheldon belly bump? Because, by the way, JC Sheldon, not only you described the flagrant 2, but let's not forget, JC Sheldon walked up and belly bumped her, so should have been a technical foul as well. It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, there is no scenario. There's no scenario where Caitlin Clark should have been teed up. And the Tina Charles one is so weird. She runs towards Caitlin in a sportsmanlike manner. What the hell does that mean? She's just doing this to Caitlin. And in fairness, I will say it, she did actually connect with Caitlin. I don't think Caitlin felt it. But, she just starts doing that. She just starts pointing at Caitlin. I'm like, walking, runs toward her in an unsportsmanlike manner. Come on. Tina Charles did not need to be teed up there. Tina Charles did not need to be teed up. Like, she did not need to be teed up. In the fourth quarter, why is Sophie Cunningham's upgrade to a flagrant 2? Fair enough. We felt that the contact by Cunningham was unnecessary and excessive. Why did JC Sheldon and Lindsay Allen get assessed technicals for fighting? The altercation that occurred after fell by Sophie, we ruled as a fight. Fair eject. Sheldon and Lindsay Allen were both escalators in the altercation, therefore they were ejected for fighting. Like they just didn't need to eject Lindsay Allen. Just eject JC Sheldon, eject Sophie Cunningham. And by the way, Sophie Cunningham deserved the ejection. Absolutely deserved the ejection. Like, I'm just saying that right now. Like, Sophie Cunningham 100% deserved the ejection. I'm not out here saying that she didn't. But at the end of the day, the referees lost control of the game. And then there's a player like Sophie Cunningham on the court. It was always going to happen. And Sophie Cunningham not only getting one back for Caitlin, it's not like JC Sheldon wasn't involved, didn't jump through Sid Coulson's knee the last game. It's not like that entire team did not want to take JC Sheldon out. Sophie Cunningham just did it. But yeah, honestly, this is a pathetic response by the referees. I'm not gonna lie. It was a pathetic response by the refs. Like, this was just a badly refereed game. It was always gonna happen, and horrendously badly refereed game. Horrendously bad. Like, but leagues unreal. A body check isn't worthy of a flagrant, but a play on the ball is. What I heard is you can hit CC in the face and get away with it. CC can't react. You can hip check Caitlin from behind the dead ball, not be ejected. This has happened twice. So yes, you can hip check Caitlin Clark from behind and a dead ball, not be ejected. WNBA won't be officiating the same way for both teams. Yeah. Hope Caitlin sits out the next game on national TV. That I actually agree with that. That is a point that I've made. Absolute clown officiating. Sophie was forced to do this. Sophie was not forced to do this. Sophie just took one for the team. And by the way, I mean this when I say this. Like, Sophie Cunningham doing this, it means nobody's going to try and mess with Caitlin Clark again. You're not going to mess with Caitlin Clark because Caitlin's not going to be the one that has to be the one to pick up the tees. Sophie Cunningham can go get herself thrown out of a game. She can go get herself thrown out of a game. But yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. So anyway, yeah, that is it, lads. I'll see you guys.